Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our Chief of the Field Technical Assistance Division, Dr. Wendell Cabrera. Palakpakan po natin siya.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Eva. Once again, good morning to everyone, fellow educators. This webinar is in relation to the Regional Memorandum Number 122 Series of 2020. That is that regional memo is the provision of technical assistance in the new normal in support of the learning continuity plan. So ano po yung rationale? So yung first of all, yung memorandum is aimed to establish policy guidelines in providing technical assistance to the Field Technical Assistance Division using online platforms that would provide systematic, needs-based, collaborative, and participatory mechanisms and procedures that will guide the field in giving technical assistance anchored on the goals and objectives of the learning continuity plan towards the achievement of education outcomes. So, ang layunin po natin ngayon dito in terms of giving technical assistance would be yung realignment ng ating lahat ng mga programa natin towards the learning continuity plan. Kaya nga po yung mga work and financial plan natin, yung lahat po ng yung DEDP natin, this would be aligned to the objectives and goals of the basic education learning continuity plan. Kaya kung paano tayo magbibigay ng technical assistance, a-align na natin ito dun sa kung ano ang revisions na gagawin natin with regards to our work and financial plan, to our DEDP, that would align all our efforts towards the achievement of the learning continuity plan. Kaya po, naglabas po kami ng policy guidelines in terms of how we can ensure that the goals and objectives of the BELCP would be achieved through the provision of technical assistance. Ano po yung scope nito? Okay, yung scope po ng ating policy guidelines ay una, yung provision for the establishment of a systematic process so that the regional office, the division office, the schools, and the community learning centers would be guided in operationalizing the TA mechanism based on the Contextualized Technical Assistance Operations Handbook. Remember po, during our SBM Congress, we have launched the Contextualized Technical Assistance Operations Handbook. So, yun pa rin po ang gagamitin natin, pero i-align na po natin ito sa ngayon po, ngayong school year na ito, in terms of providing technical assistance to ensure that the BELCP goals and objectives would be achieved. Second is, yung process po would start, the same po din siya, pero may pagbabago lang po ng konti. Of course, sabi natin, yung provision of technical assistance should always be needs-based. So kaya magsisimula po ito sa gathering of data in terms of achieving the LCP goals. Second is we analyze the data that is provided to us in the gathering of our data. What are the issues and concerns? What are the gaps in terms of implementing the LCP in our respective divisions and in the schools? And then consultative conference with the RFTAT or DFTAT. So ito na po. Kaya nandito na po tayo kasi meron na po tayong gathered data, the data that was provided to us by PPRD, which I believe the SDOD chief and the CID chiefs have already known because during the webinar with the CID and the SDOD chief, Ma'am Dr. Matros Galarion, the chief of the PPRD, have shared the data to us. Then we analyzed, there was the analysis of the data. Now we have the consultative teleconferencing with the DFTAT or with the division counterparts, so that the next point is that so that we would be able to craft the technical assistance plan. And then we have the online consultative meeting with the SGOD and SDM coordinators, and then we have to perform the online TA with our stakeholders and feedbacking and reporting. So yun po yung process na gagawin natin at makikita po natin mamaya dun sa TA framework. So ano po yung policy statement natin? So itong guidelines na ito would ensure yung mechanisms and procedures may i-implement natin. Na una, we adhere to the goals and objectives of the BELCP or the Learning Continuity Plan. Second is, we contribute, the policy through the technical assistance provision would contribute to the achievement of the educational outcomes. Okay? Despite the pandemic, despite the COVID-19, we have to ensure that educational outcomes should also be achieved. Kaya po, titingnan din natin ano yung mga problema in terms of especially siguro itong first 2 weeks ng ating opening of classes, makikita natin kung ano yung mga gaps. Makikita natin ano yung mga problema lalo, concretely. Kasi although ngayon, alam ko ang mga divisions ay nagsisimulate ng mga different learning modalities, pero hindi pa rin po natin nakikita yung actual kasi ito simulation, pili lang yung ginagawa natin. Sabi nga ni ASDS kahapon, nakausap ko ni ASDS ng Tarlac Province, si Ma'am Cel Vega, sabi nga niya is hindi pa natin nakikita yung actual kasi sa actual maramihan na yan. Kanya-kanya na ng implementasyon ng different schools. And that's why we have to really monitor the implementation of the different learning modalities so that we would, this early, we would know what would be the gaps so that the educational outcomes that we project to achieve would really be achieved. Third is, we have to use systematic methods in developing activities that would lead to the successful implementation of the LCP. Kaya po, yung TA plan, yung technical assistance plan, ang magiging basis po natin kung yung mga activities na i-develop natin na mag-a-address doon sa mga concerns at gaps na na-identify natin in the implementation of the LCP ay magiging effective. Kaya kailangan systematic yung method na gagamitin natin sa pag-develop. Next is to adapt a needs-based approach that relies on relevant data, research, and feedback. That's why na-push back po itong webinar natin ito because we waited for the research and the relevant data that PPRD would give us so that yung approach na gagamitin natin sa provision of technical assistance ay needs-based, batay po sa pangangailangan ng nasa field. Hindi po yung haka-haka lang natin, kundi batay po sa research findings. At yung research findings ang magiging basis natin for adapting the different activities or interventions we would develop in order to address the gaps so that the BELCP would really be implemented effectively. And the last is employ participatory and collaborative method that would consider the needs and concerns of stakeholders. So hindi po ang pagbibigay po ng technical assistance ay hindi lang po dapat nanggagaling sa pamunuan, hindi lang po dapat nanggagaling sa FTAD, hindi lang po nanggagaling sa DFTAD, kundi kailangan po participatory at collaborative. Kaya po, every now and then, we really have to collaborate with our counterparts in the field so that really the ideas and opinions and suggestions of the field would really be considered in developing the different strategies and interventions in order to address the different gaps. Ito po, siguro po nakita na po natin yung Regional Memo 122. So ito po yung na design na framework doon sa provision of technical assistance in the new normal in support of the LCP. So step by step po yan. Ito po ay pinag-isipang mabuti ni Ma'am Eva. So care of po kay Ma'am Eva ito. Tapos diniscuss po namin sa FTAD. Kaya nagkaroon po ng mga improvement in terms of how this framework would be. Cyclic po, kasi alam po natin na hindi yung pagbibigay ng technical assistance ay hindi po humihinto, kundi kailangan po, kaya nga po may tracking yung pagbibigay natin ng technical assistance kasi pwedeng bumalik sa step 1. So isa-isahin po natin yung kung ano itong mga steps na ito. Yung unang steps po natin, tulad ng sabi ko, yung data gathering. Nag-gather tayo ng data para ma-achieve natin yung goals ng BELCP. So ano yung mga dapat na i-consider pag nag-gather tayo ng data? Okay, una po, kailangan natin malaman, makita yung teachers and learners readiness on ICT-assisted instruction. So kung online po yung magiging modality natin, online learning modality po. So kailangan po natin makita yung readiness ng ating teachers at learners. Kaya po yung survey na ginawa ng hapyaw na lang po kasi yung ating mga SGOD chief at SCID chiefs, alam na po nila ito at sila ang mag-assist sa atin sa paggawa ng mga technical assistance plans related to the data gathered through the survey that was conducted by PPRD. The second is schools connectivity, technology, and infrastructure. So, kailangan po natin, ano yung, meron bang internet connectivity, meron bang infrastructure na meron ang mga eskwelahan, ang mga bahay. So, kaya, tiningnan din po ito. The third is teachers' readiness to adapt appropriate delivery modes. Dito po, makikita natin mamaya ano yung mga needs ng ating mga teachers in terms of how they would be able to deliver the different delivery modalities, alternative delivery modalities. Sayang nga po kasi yung pong nagkaroon po tayo ng mga learning delivery modality modules, di po pa, courses na course 1 para sa school heads. Eventually po, i-launch natin yung LDM course 2. Ito ay para sa mga teachers. At dito po, excuse me, dito po makikita natin doon sa LDM2 kung paano po, ano yung mga needs ng mga teachers in terms of how they would be able to address or implement the different learning modalities. Sayang nga lang po ang NEAP na huli. Kasi alam ko in the field, ang mga schools, division offices, they have done their part. They have initiated some trainings for our teachers in terms of making them ready to the different learning modalities. And then the fourth is the school's readiness to ensure healthy and safety environment based on the minimum safety standards. So, nakikita ko po ngayon, for example, may mga schools na ang ginagawa na po nila ay nag-o-orient. Meron pong cases na kung saan ay nag-o-orient sila ng mga parents na pero meron ng face-to-face o mga iilang mga parents na pumupunta para pick up, for example, yung mga learning modules at mga learning activity sheets. Papaano po i-ensure, kailangan ma-ensure natin ano yung mga ginagawa ng schools para ma-ensure yung healthy and safety environment. Nakikita ko po, alam ko, nag-release na po ng mga memorandum ang ating mga schools division offices in terms of how to safeguard this. So pero tingnan po natin, baka may mga gaps, baka po mayroong mga kakulangan, mayroon pong mga bagay na hindi na-address ng ating mga schools, kaya kailangan, dahil hindi po nila alam, so kailangan po natin bigyan ng technical assistance yung mga schools so that ito pong mga protocols na binigay sa atin ng DOH at ng IATF ay talagang mapatupad natin. Kasi po alam po natin, araw-araw po ay patuloy na nag-i-increase yung ating mga cases of COVID. And so of course, we have to address also other issues and concerns that need technical assistance. So these are the things that we have to consider in gathering the data for the achievement of the LCP goals. So the second step is that then we have to analyze that the gathered data. So ito pong analysis na ito, alam po natin, importante. So dapat meron pong data analysis. So yung ito po kasi data analysis ay yun ang magbibigay sa atin ng clearer picture of what are the problems, the issues, and the gaps that would be the basis of our PA plan. And then the third step on the part of the region, we would have the consultative conference with RFTAT because yung RFTAT po kasi yun ang magiging may mga kanya-kanyang divisions na naka-assign po sa mga members ng RFTAT. At ang dahil nga po mahirap ang face-to-face, so online or virtual modality ang gagamitin. Ongoing po ito, nangyayari po ito in coordination, particularly in coordination with the HRDD in the implementation of the LDM course. Alam ko po medyo yung LDM course 1 ay nag-i-implement na yung mga divisions pero nahuli po ang pagbubuo ng mga coaches and technical assistance providers in the regional office, kaya hindi kaagad-agad po na bigyan ng concern o ng sagot yung mga concerns ng mga different divisions in terms of the implementation of the LDM course. Pero ngayon po, in place na po yung mga different coaches and PA providers for the implementation of the LDM course. So that the provision of technical assistance would really be given to the issues and concerns that would be raised by the different SDOs. And then the fourth po is, of course, we would have to craft the TA plans. Meron po, in crafting the TA plans, ang ginawa po natin online para po ang regional office ay in real time nakikita po kung ano yung mga nangyayari po para po mabilis na mabigyan ng through FTAD, mabigyan ng masusing sagot doon sa mga nakikita na mga problema during the crafting of the TA plan para makapagbigay pa rin po ng suggestions ang mga nasa regional office, ang RFTAT, ng mga suggestions ng mga activities or interventions that would be used in addressing the different concerns. Ang nagkaroon po ng konting pagbabago, kung titingnan natin po, yung TA plan na ito ay nandoon po sa contextualized TA handbook po natin. Pero binigyan po natin ng kinontextualize pa po natin kasi inilagay po natin yung LCP goal na i-address natin, kung ano yung LCP goal na i-address natin, ano yung issues and concerns with regards doon sa LCP goal. Siguro po, titingnan po natin para ma-share ko sa inyo kung ano yung para may share ko po sa iyo, sandali lang po. I-open ko po yung link na naka-provide po doon sa ano natin. Ayun po. So dito po makikita natin ano po yung schools na doon sa una per division po ito. So ang mag-encode po ay per division. So hindi po ninyo kailangan na kunin yung kuan, kundi online po natin gagawin. So sino yung school, ano yung LCP goal na i-address natin, ano yung strategy, tapos ano po yung identified gaps or needs that has to be addressed based on the LCP goal. So ano yung mga intervention or strategies na gagawin natin, ano yung expected outcome, time frame, and so on and so forth. So yun po ang pagbabago dito sa TA plan, kasi ang nais po natin dito ay makita halimbawa ng division, ano yung particular school na mayroong problema, ano yung LCP goal based doon sa learning continuity plan po na ginawa din ng mga schools. Di po ba may mga LCP din na ginawa ang mga schools na ipinresent sa inyo, ipinresent din sa mga local government units. Ano yung mga strategies at ano yung mga gaps. So basically po, ganun po yung ang TA plan na i-craft natin based dito sa regional memo po na ito. So, balik po tayo doon sa and then pag na-develop na po yung TA plan, nakita na po namin. So magkakaroon po ng online consultative meeting with the SDOs or the SBM coordinators and the different key persons that are involved in the provision of technical assistance. So dito po, dahil gusto nga natin po maging participatory yung at collaborative po yung effort natin sa pagbibigay ng technical assistance. So i-discuss po natin doon sa mga particular divisions. Kaya po, halimbawa yung coach or yung TA provider or yung DFTAT na kung saan ay ang SDO na assign sa kanya halimbawa ay Pampanga, so makikipag-consultative meeting sila doon sa SDO na yon. At pagkatapos po noon, i-accomplish yung TA Form B, which is the agreement, okay, the TA agreement between the client and the TA provider. So again, online din po ito kasi nga po ay wala pong face-to-face. And then, yung step 6 po is after the agreement between the RFTAT and the DFTAT, then we now go to the provision of the technical assistance. So, depende na po ito kung sa mga divisions, pero based doon sa protocols po natin in terms of the DOH and IATF, mahirap po ang face-to-face. So, pwede natin gawin through online. So, online platform po ang gagamitin natin ng pagpo-provide ng technical assistance. Now, in terms of the school, pwede po natin gamitin yung learning action cells. Tomorrow po, i-discuss ni Sir Paing po kung paano na magagamit na modality in the provision of technical assistance yung learning action cells para po ma-address yung mga gaps ng mga na-identify during the gathering of data. And then, of course, yung next po is the feedbacking and reporting. So, dito po sa feedbacking and reporting, meron din po tayong i-fill up na form, yung TA Form C, na makikita po natin sa regional memo, meron din po link na kung saan ay i-report po natin ano yung naging intervention natin at ano po yung naging result. Sa feedbacking and reporting, hindi po lamang po na nag-provide tayo ng technical assistance at i-report natin na meron tayong na-provide na technical assistance. Actually po, ito po yung concern din during the DMEA reporting, na kung saan nilalagay po natin na meron tayong, kasi bilangan po ng provision of technical assistance. Halimbawa, 50 schools were given technical assistance on the particular issue of concern. Pero hindi po natin nakikita during the DMEA report ano yung naging effect ng TA provision natin. So importante po dito po sa feedbacking and reporting, kailangan nating i-gather ano yung naging effect. Halimbawa, in terms of learning modality, si teacher ba, si school head ba, naintindihan at na-implement ng maayos yung particular learning modality that was identified in their school, that teachers were able to implement it without any problems that they encountered during the implementation of their classes. So ito po, konkreto po na meron tayong reporting in terms of the outcome. So outcome based po tayo, outcomes, hindi po output lang. Kailangan po yung outcome. We are going towards the outcome based reporting po ngayon. So in terms of providing technical assistance. Kaya po ito rin po ang naisin namin pag-report sa reportings ng DMEA. Kaya po halimbawa, na-report, may mga schools division offices na nare-report po na nag-validate sila ng mga schools in terms of the SBM. Ang tanong ko po palagi is, sige, nag-validate kayo, ilan ang from SBM 1 naging SBM 2? Ilan from SBM 2 naging SBM 3? So, kailangan po na nakikita natin yung outcome of lahat ng efforts natin sa pag-provide ng technical assistance. So yun po, yun ang pinaka-importante po na gusto kong may share in terms of the provision of technical assistance. Kasi po, nakikita natin sa ating framework kung ano yung layunin natin, improve performance in academic areas utilizing the different learning modalities. So, ito po yung pinaka-goal natin, pinaka-layunin natin, kaya tayo po nagbibigay ng technical assistance. Hindi po ngayon bilangan ng provision of technical assistance, it is not the quantity but the quality of our technical assistance. Maaring sabihin po natin na meron lang po tayong 2 schools na nabigyan ng technical assistance. Pero itong dalawang schools na ito, na-track po natin talaga yung performance nila, that eventually nakita natin that there was the improvement in their performance, in the academic performance of the different learning areas with the use of the different learning